Today is Friday, the 9th of January 2026. This is a 2015 Isuzu box truck with a 16-foot Morgan box on it, 12.5 feet or 150-inch wheelbase. Has 16-inch tires, 6 of them. They're all new. I'm going to do a walk. I'm going to do this in several videos because there's a lot to cover, and I don't have any editing software, so it's going to be a one-shot deal on each video. So this has a 5.2 liter diesel engine. It's turbocharged, and it has 5-speed automatic transmission. The first gear is a granny gear, gets it going to 2 or 3 miles an hour, and then the rest of the gears go up, and I've had it up, I think as fast as I ever had it going was about 85, and it has plenty of power. I drove it out in the mountains, western United States. I've driven it about 9,000 miles, and it performed well in the mountains. It did well climbing and descending grades, and I've been down grades as high as 10%, and I had no trouble with engine brake and retarding the speed. This box on the side has triangles for the road. The empty weight on it before I started building it out some was 10,600. I have the scale paperwork on that. It was inside the cab from the passenger side. Let me get a shot of the tires here. All 6 of them are new. These tires have about 8,000 miles on them, and the rear tires have about 5 or 6. I'll get the other side. Get a nice view of this. The sun's getting in my eyes. Oh, the box is 8 feet high. A lot of them are 7 feet high, and it's 8.5 feet wide. Here's the left front tire. Let's see if I can get a good shot of the rear tires. They're all have good tread. There's 2 parallel batteries, 12-volt batteries there. And there's the DEF tank. And the engine is underneath. Now I have a lock. I have a lock here on the battery box and the tilt mechanism on the cab. The cab tilts forward 45 degrees. I'm going to start the engine. One thing, when you start it, you turn the ignition on and wait 3 seconds or however long it takes for the glow plug indicator to go out, because if you try and crank it with the glow plug on, it's not good. So it's 178,314 miles on it. I have a backup camera. Let me see if I can get it working. It's a little cantankerous, but you'll get a digital tire gauge with a forward and reverse chuck, and a separate chuck for airing up the rear tires. And this is very accurate. It works very well. It's got an AM/FM radio. A couple of segments on the numbers have failed. There's a fire extinguisher back here, and then in here, this mechanism here is a remote that you can plug in. There's the backup camera. Turn it off here. The remote for the lift gate plugs in, but you can run it with a switch in the back. It turns on here, and then this switch here is the dome light. Cruise control is here, and it works very well. It's 1 mile per hour per button push up or down. Door lock here. Everything else is pretty straightforward. There's a 3rd seat here also, so you can seat 3 people. In the next video, I'll tilt the cab. I don't want to do that while I'm trying to hold the camera. Another thing is it's extremely dry underneath. Nothing leaks or drips at all. I've been under there, and there's lots of room, so you can crawl under it and check it out. Also, this radiator was all plugged up with mud and dirt and feathers, or partially plugged. I had it serviced in Thornton, Colorado at a GMC Isuzu dealer, and they took the radiator off and cleaned it all out. And I also had both thermostats. I don't know why there's two, but there are two thermostats. I had them replaced. Let's run the lift. So I go and turn the switch on for the lift right here. Let's see if I can one-hand this thing. So basically, when you push the down button, where's the plug-in? Here's the plug-in for the remote on the lift. So you hold that down and it just drifts down slowly. It's only when you're raising it that it's hydraulically powered. So it comes out and then it tilts, and when it hits the ground, you tilt it over. You pull this handle here, tilt it over, and then you lift it again to make it full width. And I think it might be just a little bit low on hydraulic fluid, because the last inch or so it was chattering there a little bit, which I think is low. But anyway, it goes up and down. It works well. If I just hold the switch, it drifts back down. So I'll take it down part way and flip this. Oh, these things here, if you move these levers, pop that up, it keeps anything with wheels from rolling off the tailgate, which is a nice feature. Alright, so then I flip this back over, and this is the hard part, where it's got springs, so it goes back in. I usually do it softer, but one-handing is difficult to make it quiet. And you just put it back up, and when it stops, you're done. And then don't forget to turn the switch off at the end. And by the way, I'm a retired airline pilot, so I do a lot of checklisty things. So when I shut it down, I'll turn it down, I'll check, go lift gate switch, that's 1. Box lamp switch, 2. Make sure the lights are off, that's 3. Wipers off, that's 4. Check the dome light is off, that's 5. Check this flashing lights are off, 6. Make sure the backup camera's off, that's 7. And I have a where did I put it? I have a hat here that there it is. I put it over the lift, or the backup camera, so that nobody looks in here and sees it, because I don't want anybody breaking in. So that's 7. Then 8 is checking to pick up my phone and put it back on me. 9 is to take the key out. 10 is to make sure the brake is set. And you see here I forgot to put it in park, so I make sure it's in park. So that's 12 items. I do that every time I shut down. That way I never leave the lights on and never leave things out of place. Okay, let's see what else. One more walk around. Maybe I can tilt the cab. Let's see. I have so that key goes in there, and this is I have to kind of thread that through, get that out of there. And you have to move some things in the cab so that things don't fall forward, because it's going to tilt 45 degrees. So first thing, you have to pull this lever. I'm going to have to put it down for a second. You pull this and then pull the handle at the same time. So I have to set the phone down a second. So now Now the handle's released and this is up, and I think I've got it. I think there's one, seems like there's one more. Wait a minute. Oh, this one, yeah. I got to pull this back. I don't do it that often, but tilt it and it goes up. And then there's down here this over center lock. I hear things falling in there. This over center lock locks, so before you tilt it back down, you have to push that, release it, and pull it out of over center lock. So here's the engine oil, transmission fluid here. So the engine is very easy to access. With this tilted, you can get at everything. Also, it helps tilt the cab if you have the doors, or at least one of them, open. It's not necessary though. Turbocharger is right here. Let's see, this is on the passenger side. This is windshield washer fluid, and oh, wow, that's heavy. And on this side, I think this pops off. That's the brake fluid reservoir right there. Okay, let's see what else. So this is what it looks like when it's tilted. This thing here needs to be replaced. I did get it threaded back into the holes and stuff, but the holes are ripped through, so it just popped out. So I don't open the passenger side very often. What I'll do is close it most of the way and push it up, and then do the first latch and then push it shut. But basically that should get a new seal, but if you don't use the door much, you can just push it up and not open it very often. Okay, this is the induction system. The air comes in there, connects up here, and goes down through filters in there. By the way, when I had it serviced, I spent on 2 services 4 or 5 days apart. I had all the fluids changed except for the brake fluid, and all the filters changed. And they, like I said, they cleaned the radiator. They did something to the right axle. I've forgotten exactly what. They replaced both engine batteries on this side in this compartment. And I bought these two new tires. I bought those in Granbury, Texas, and then in Billings, Montana, I got the other 4. Okay, so this is a 16-foot Morgan box, and if you look at the back up here, you see there's 12 lag bolts. The top panel was cracking, so I put a piece of 3/4 inch plywood on the I'm going to lift this up. I put a piece of 3/4 inch plywood on the inside and bolted it through because it was cracking and it was affecting how the door was moving in through the hinges or through on the track. Anyway, that's perfectly flat and solid. I have the 2 of the best tires. I took off of the rear, the 2 good ones. I kept those so that if I had a flat or something happened, I've got tires that fit. There's 3 rows of E-Trek in here. There's a box with some of the straps and stuff. They fit in here, and you can cargo strap things down. And there's a fire extinguisher in the back on each side here. Let's see. There's the dome light in the middle of the top. Now the inside of the truck, I built this out to live in and travel in. So my original build out was an office space below and the bed up top. However, it proved to be, I had steps on the side of the wall there, which I've taken off except for the top one. I didn't insulate the truck, so in the summertime it was too hot up there and it was too dangerous climbing up and down all the time. So I put the bed down here and I turned it the other way and put borders around it, And I mounted that rack in the corner for doodads for when you're sleeping. So 9-drawer dresser there. And this railing around here, I designed it I bought 17 totes that all have the same footprint. So 10 of them are shallow and they fit too high across here, and when you're driving you have to put them down here, but otherwise I stack them up there. So my idea, if I had kept doing this, was to take the top part and lower it and turn it, and so I had 33 inches below to sit up in bed, and then the top would have 56 or 7 inches where I could sit at a desk and have computer desk and everything. And then this thing here is a Bluetti 3000 pure sine wave inverter power station. Just hold the button for a few seconds, you'll hear the fan come on. There it is. And in a few seconds that'll light up, and then you get the screen lighting up, and it'll tell you, I think it was at 96%. Yeah, it's 96%. You want to turn AC on, you do that, go on. In about 7 seconds it comes on. Turn the DC on, you do the same thing, and it shows you, they're in yellow, they're both on, and it tells you how many watts you're drawing on each. And if you've got solar cells on the roof, which I don't, it tells you how many watts are coming in from that. Now, I put in this Charger 1 charger system, and this wire from it, where is right here. This thing goes around and underneath the mattress and down through a hole here and down, and it's connected to the battery, and there's a 60 amp fuse on the battery, and there's another breaker that's, I believe, 60 amps. So if I turn this, if I turn the breaker on, the power station will be charged off the engine system, 214 watts, which will charge it up about 1% for every 10 minutes of driving. When it's plugged into AC with this wire, this one here, there it is, it'll charge 1%, almost 1% every minute. This is a 2.765 kilowatt hour battery. See, the battery is a Bluetti B300K, and I think the unit there is AC300 or something. I don't remember exactly. So to turn it off, just push and hold it, and in a few more seconds it's completely off. I have 3 potable water jugs with spigots. The third one's in my house, which I'll put back in here. One bad thing, when I bought the truck, it had a smashed corner, and I fixed it, and then a couple of months ago I was driving around a residential area and I grazed a tree that I thought was a little higher, so I had to I've got to fix it again, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. Whoever buys it may have to do that. But there's the replacement cap and caulk, and I also have a tool kit with a 16-inch pop rivet gun, because these pop rivets on this thing are gigantic. What else? Okay, there's a good view of the inside of the garage door. The reason I'm doing this in one long video is that I do not have any editing software, so it's just a one and done deal. I'm asking $20,000 for the truck. It has 178,314 miles on it. If you want the power station, which was a couple grand, and the other stuff of the build out, it's $23,000. Let me think. One more walk around and I think I'll conclude the video. Phone number is 772-486-1509. My email is sixth@yahoo.com. That's S as in Sierra, IXTH, the number 6, TH at yahoo.com. This is where you fuel. It holds 30 gallons of fuel, and it in town it'll get about 9.8 to 10.5 miles per gallon. On the highway it'll get 13. If you depends on your speed. If you go really fast, it'll go down, 12 and a half to 13. The highest I got was about 13.6 or 7 or something in the mountains. When you're up at higher altitude, above 5,000 feet, the air is thinner, so you get better mileage because you're pushing a lot of air. And they say if you put there's these 4 bolts here and 4 here, you can buy an air deflector to put it on there, and it just screws right on. That will save, depending on what speed you drive on the highway, 10 to 15 or 10 to 20%. No, 10 or 15%. I don't know. It's significant. It costs $1,500, and I was originally going to do a really fancy build out like Nomad Brad YouTube channel. He's got almost the same truck, except he has a gasoline one that's 2008, I think, and he's doing an excellent job. But I didn't want to do it after almost 6 months of being in it. I'm almost 76, and I don't want to do that anymore. I had enough of it. But I filled that bucket. All right, everybody, thank you for watching my video, and give me a call, send me an email, and I'm going to post this to Facebook Marketplace and probably other places too.